Hello everyone, my name is Ziamaro and welcome to Battlerite Sage. So, you may have seen one of my previous videos about why you should have a main. Well, today you might want to call me Mr. Contrarian because I'm about to tell you the exact opposite. Even if you have a main and you're really happy with it, it might be worth learning a new champion. So let's talk about why you should learn a new champion. There are multiple stages to your progression as a player in Battlerite. The first stage is when you're learning what every ability does, and at this point you want to play a bit of everything, find out what each champion can do, and then find something that clicks with you. Once you find a champion that really clicks, it's a good idea to play it a lot and learn all the ins and outs. The individual interactions between every champion are more intricate than you might initially expect, so focusing on learning all the interactions for one champion is a good way to go at first. Some people may never actually find a main champion, but I think everyone has a strongest champion. There will come a point, however, whether you realise it or not, that you start to pick up bad habits with your main. Every champion has strengths and weaknesses, and it's highly likely that you will begin to use your main strength as a crutch for bad play. For example, if you play a champion with a lot of iframes such as Freya, it would be easy to use those iframes as a crutch. There will be times where you could have just avoided an ability by having better positioning, but Freya has an abundance of iframes, so you could just iframe all the dangerous stuff. You can probably climb quite high up the ladder with bad habits, but you will reach a sticking point, and that's when you should branch out to other champions. So, how do you pick a new champion? Ideally, you want to pick something that has totally different strengths and weaknesses to your main. I'll use myself as an example. As many of you know, I'm a Paloma main. So, what are a few things that I came to rely on as Paloma? First of all, you've got your get out of jail free card with Other Side. Secondly, her mouse 1 is her main heal and it's spammable. So while she requires consistent aim to hit all those mouse 1s, it's not incredibly punishing if you miss them sometimes. She's also pretty good at facing off against melee in her face thanks to her fear. So recently I've been learning Lucy. Lucy has no get out of jail free card. She has only one iframe that requires energy to use. Plus, missing a single ability as Lucy is incredibly punishing. It's interesting because she has a lot of similar utility to Paloma in some ways. She has a fear, she can remove debuffs, she has a barrier which can function in a similar way to Other Side in some ways. Yet, the way you play her couldn't be more different. But what about for people who aren't support mains? Well, using my Freya example with her abundance of iframes, you could take a look at Bako or Croak. Both of them have a massively different playstyle to Freya. They have their own strengths and weaknesses, but iframes are not one of them. So by learning one of those champions, you may learn a bunch of new stuff. Or let's say you're a range main and you've been playing Destiny. Why not take a look at Esmo or Ivor, because they have equally different playstyles to Destiny. Really, it's totally up to you what you learn. Just give it a try. It might feel like a step backwards at first, but trust me, the payoff will be worth it. So, how does learning a new champion help? Let's go back to my reasons for learning Lucy. So compared to Paloma, Lucy needs far better positioning and you need to make every cooldown count. The payoff for that is a champion who can support melee champions a lot better. For example, when Shifu is out of cooldowns, as Paloma I can Other Side him. That allows him to reset, but he's achieving nothing during that time. As Lucy, you can put your barrier on him, so while his cooldowns come back, he can carry on wailing on someone. She can also remove debuffs with a relatively short cooldown compared to Paloma. It did feel a little bit rough at first, but I'm actually not too bad with Lucy now. Paloma is, and probably always will be, my strongest champion, but the great thing is, when I play Paloma now, her strengths feel even more pronounced. My positioning issues have been sorted for the most part, so I no longer rely on my abilities as a crutch. I put a lot more thought into when and why I use my big cooldowns as well. For example, I used to throw out my space a little too frivolously on Paloma, but I've really refined my timing of that thanks to playing Lucy. So, the reason for learning a new champion? It makes you even better on your main. Plus, if you ever want to play this game competitively, you need to have a wider champion pool than just one champion. One champion won't work in every scenario. And if it does, well, I hate to break it to you, but it's probably OP. I mean, look at Paloma and Destiny. They were enabling a ranged meta until their nerfs, and they were viable in pretty much every scenario for a while. And as a result, they were totally strangling out melee champions. But since they're nerfs, they have much more defined weaknesses. They still seem very strong under certain circumstances, but they don't work in every scenario like they did. So, in conclusion, those of you out there who have a very strong main like I do, get out there and learn some new stuff, and you'll be surprised how much it helps you even with your main character. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, then please feel free to subscribe for more Battlerite guides, news and discussion. And don't forget to check out twitch.tv/BattleriteSage. Until next time, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.